Ducks are looking more and more often like a team that can compete with any team in this league.
Oh
And when
yeah.
when you have that on any given night, it gives the coaching staff and it gives the players the positivity and momentum of any game is winnable, any game is competitive, and basically practice is practice. What we do in the game, we can make in-game adjustments better than the other team, and it gives you that feeling. And I think that's what has really thrived for the Ducks here so far this season.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing that, I could get more excited about this team because they can hit you from anywhere. I mean, tonight, two defensemen scoring, like said, and Dostal solid in net. They're playing crisp passes by McTavish and others. Defensively, they're aggressive. And again, if you're watching just the final 2 minutes of the game or 3 minutes of the game when the Ducks took the lead there late, the defense was on the attack, dude, whereas most teams would be just on their heels trying to hold on. The Ducks just played different,
Yep.
different from what we're accustomed to this team playing, right?
It's a little thing called coaching. And
Yeah.
when you have great coaching, it's going to trickle down from the top to the bottom. And we all know, from the top to the bottom, the Ducks have great owners. Their GM, Pat Verbeek, has put together this team over the last couple of years, even when he inherited a really bad situation after Bob Murray left. Then you get Joel Quenneville to come on in. You have the youth package. You've added some savvy veterans. And now that culture is being established once again in the Coach Q era. And I would say everybody has bought in exceptionally quick. Again, we are 20 games into the season, and the Ducks have won 13 of 20 games. 13-6-1 with this win tonight.
Absolutely. And again, it comes down to just not only team play, but obviously you need a good goalie. And Dostal lives up to it again,
Yeah.
stopping 36 of 39. And then the Ducks turn around on the offensive side, 33 shots.
Yeah.
So,
And we know in sports, and I was reading this on social media tonight, and our good buddy who does baseball with us, Jared Timms, he was watching the game tonight, and he made a comment saying he saw the pregame show for the Boston Bruins because the Ducks on the Victory Plus only cut in about 5 minutes before the game. And how the Boston Bruins people were talking about the Ducks tonight was essentially the Ducks are Dostal would not be a household name if it wasn't for the Ducks start. Basically
mhm,
tearing him down and saying he's only as good as your, kind of you're only as good as your weakest player kind of mentality.
mhm.
I get it. Sports these days, and we see it with the Angels, even when the Angels are doing well for like a week. Sports are primarily an East Coast bias, right?
Yeah.
Coast timing and everything works out. No one's watching Pac-12 after dark or Sunday night football when it's two teams that really don't matter. I get it. So not many people are probably watching Ducks hockey. And if the Ducks were middle of the pack right now this season, Dostal would not be getting as much love as he's been getting over the last couple of years. But as you put it, Todd, Dostal has put the Ducks on his back at numerous times. He has been that cement wall of a goaltender. Yeah, has every game been perfect? No. But he, just like the remainder of the Anaheim Ducks team, has done well this year, has done things to put the team in great situations to lead towards the win. You can't play this early into the season a full, perfect 60 minutes of hockey and expect to win the Stanley Cup. We joke all the time. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you're gonna have to win those gritty games. And Dostal, to me, he has done a lot this season for the Anaheim Ducks to get the Ducks in winning position.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that you called the other night where you were thinking Dostal would face off against these Boston Bruins tonight, who have been really, really hot. And you figure, okay, you take them on, you're going to give Mrazek the night tomorrow, and that's fine.
Mhm.
And I
Yep.
think that'd be the way to go. But, in a game like this where it was tight, they put pressure on Boston. They got some nice shots and deflections. It's encouraging from all sides right now. And again, a game light on power plays as far as, yeah, you did give up one tonight, but you're not giving up again a lot of penalties. And 2 games against a very good netminder with the Bruins, you've scored 11 goals, man. And
Mm-hmm.
so you gotta love the fact that this team is aggressive. And oh, by the way, they're all alone in the Pacific Division. And you were taking on a team that Boston, if they had won tonight, would be leading the Atlantic Division. So
Yeah.
you know,
You know,
it
the Ducks, we've talked about it again. This is a very commonality with these post-game shows. The Ducks are not getting shortchanged this year. This opening portion of the regular season schedule has been legitimate back to back to back to back games. It is matchup after matchup. And and as we talked about in the last post-game show in the win against Utah, most of the NHL this season has been very even keel. There really
Mhm.
isn't like 5 or 6 really, really bad teams, 5 or 6 really, really good teams, and a lot in the middle. It is pretty stretched out in the NHL right now. So, looking at it from that kind of perspective a little bit, you're in a situation where you have to take advantage of opportunity. The Ducks are doing that. You have to play a little more skilled, a little more agile, and a little more professional. You could also say, the simplest way is you just want to play clean hockey. They didn't do it on the road trip in Colorado, Detroit, Minnesota. And at least here so far in the first 2 games of this 6-game homestand, the Ducks have played cleaner, not the cleanest that they've been, but cleaner than they were in the 3 previous games on the road.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna throw an early was a curveball at you in this one
Yeah,
because
sure.
I want to get your 3 stars of the game early, and then we'll get into who scored tonight. We'll play our horn, of course, our Ducks gold. But let's see who gets the 3 stars of the game for tonight in Dominic
Beautiful.
Catella Chronicles style. Well, Dominic, it's that time. Tell us who your 3 stars of the game are.
Here we go. The third star of the game for tonight. We just talked about him. I'm going to give it to our netminder, Lukáš Dostal. He does a great job in net to keep this game alive for the Ducks late in the third, where they were able to get that game-winning goal. And for Dostal tonight, 36 saves out of 39 shots, a .923 save percentage. Let's put it this way for Dostal. Just like a pitcher in baseball, you can only do with what your offense gives you. And sometimes for a netminder, you can only do what your defense gives you. And most of the time, Dostal had a really nice save where Boston had tied it at 3. He made the save, but it just trickles off the jersey and goes in trying to use the blocker. I
Mhm.
think the mechanics are there. We know by trading John Gibson away, Lukáš Dostal is the goalie of our future and is going to be like that for years to come for the Anaheim Ducks. For Dostal to be a pinnacle right now, he's going to be that 1A type person, and he keeps the Ducks alive tonight. And especially going through a first period like he did, where Boston had 18 shots on goal, and he allowed just 1 goal to go through. That first period could have been completely different. He stood his ground. He was that dosed wall, and he got the job done. So Lukáš Dostal, our number 3 star of the night. Our number 2 star of the night, picking up his first goal of the season. He has looked good since coming off of the IR. Give me a little bit of the veteran Ryan Strome. He's assisted
Yep.
on a couple of goals. He got the scoring started tonight. And I think, again, you adding that veteran presence. You've seen Chris Kreider, what he's able to contribute so far since coming over for the Rangers. Same thing with Jacob Trouba since last year. We've seen Frankie Vetrano been very good in past. A little bit of a rough start to the season, but we know what his veteran presence can bring. Radko Gudas, 2 games since coming back. Big physical presence on Monday against Utah. Tonight gets his first goal of the year. So again, those veterans, savvy, coming back. Ryan Strome gets the number 2 star. And again, if we're going to go with a lot of firsts tonight, not just the first star of the night, but you get your first goal, it's the rookie Ian Moore. Let's
Nice.
go.
Nice.
Moore gets the job done tonight. It's his absolute spot on perfection. And what I mean by that is it's not his first goal of the year, his first game-winning goal.
Yes.
That was the asterisk by it. His second goal of the season, his first game-winning goal of his Ducks career. So who else? And on that goal, we'll go through the scoring streak. Our buddies, Carlson and Terry, get the assist on the game-winning goal, even though Ian Moore and Chris Kreider made that opportunity happen. Moore puts it in the back of the net. Hallelujah. Let's get it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Late on the horn.
No, but easily Joe Stahl, Strome, and Moore, your definite 3 stars of the game here tonight in a 4-3 win for our Anaheim Ducks.
Now we got to know who the hoser.
Let's see.
No sad Ducks tonight, but I have a feeling the Boston Bruins have a hoser.
Boston Bruins do have a hoser tonight. And looking up and down through their box scores so far tonight, you know, there's a little bit of me that's like, oh, we'll give it to the ex-Duck, Hampus Lindholm. Yeah, no, he had 22 minutes on the ice and he had 2 assists. So can't pull a joke out of all the Boston Bruins. But looking at their box score tonight and basing it on the time of ice and what they could have done with the potential in this game, I'm going to give it to, and again, pardon me for messing up the last name. It's the 5'11", 184-pound Russian, Marat Kuzadonov. Yeah. Come on, really? Are we going to try to put?
Bro,
me
you're going to tell me to forgive you for your pronunciations?
Yeah.
I can't pronounce things in English, let alone Russian. That's a hell of an effort, bro.
So here we go. So Todd, here you go. You get to say the name tonight.
Marat Kuzanadinov. I don't know.
He came into the year 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in 16 games played. He had a very high ice time with over 14 minutes on the ice. Nothing to show for it. No points, no goals, no assists. And a couple of Boston Bruins. The Ducks silenced a couple of their middle to bottom lines tonight. But we'll nickname him the Russian. Gets the Hoser Award here tonight.
There you go. So that being said, I appreciate that, Dominic. Before we look ahead to Ottawa coming up here tomorrow in this home and home there, let's get into some scoring. Let's run down the scoring, how it started the first period, my friend, as you want to get it going, because you got to save the best for last with that Ian Moore and who assisted on there. But let's talk about the first couple goals the Ducks got.
Absolutely. You got Jansen Harkins, his second of the year, assisted by Johnston and Nestorenko. And this is a perfect time for the horn. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
But it's also a perfect time to give some love to Johnston and Nestorenko. They have really anchored down the bottom of the lines for the Anaheim Ducks. And even with Coach Quenneville adjusting some of the lines here and there throughout the end of that road trip and here on the homestand, Nestorenko, 7 assists this year. And Johnson, who's been in plenty of fights, he has 4 assists. They're scrappy. You're not going to hear their names put out a lot as in under the bright Broadway lights, but they are scrappy. And that kind of represented that first goal of the night. Harkins, Johnston, and Nestorenko, they're not going to get the number 1 love like Terry and Carlson and Gauthier, but they're going to get the job done. So props to them. Second goal, Ducks go up 2-0. Radko Gudas, the Ducks captain, gets on the board here tonight. And it's from some familiar faces. Mason McTavish, who's been struggling, he gets his 9th assist, 1 of 2 assists on the night. And then the young 19-year-old Beckett Seneca gets his 8th assist of the night once again. The Ducks, and I know you'll have a take on this, Todd, is in talking, or not personally talking, but in the Ducks talking to Pat Verbeek on the morning podcast with Alexis Downey today, they talked about the plan for Seneca. And they compared it to when Leo Carlson got drafted, how Leo Carlson was kind of put on a rookie leash a little bit because of his, the prep that he got to the NHL, and they wanted him to kind of ease into it. They felt he was even more ahead than where Leo Carlson was, where the Ducks drafted him, and had the ability to just go all guns blazing relatively fast. And that's why the whole plan of, we'll send him back down to the AHL after 9 games to not let his clock run. They put that to the wayside and they said, this is all gas, no brakes, make it happen. Gotta love what Beckett Seneca is doing again. He's still growing the hair on his balls at 19 years old, and he's playing with the big guns.
Yeah, I love the way he plays so aggressive defensively, fighting for pucks, getting the poke check out there. He's matured far past his age right now. He's playing so freaking good right now. So I love the fact that he's contributing both on the offensive side and defensive side because he's been a rock so far. So
Yep.
it's 2-0 at that point. But then what happens when the Ducks create themselves a disadvantage?
I think when you play undisciplined hockey, things are going to come back to bite your ass. And
Mhm.
again, the penalty kill has been very good over the last couple of games. They were great in limited capacity against Utah throughout that road trip, the 3-game roadie last week. But Boston's able to cut through. Geeky getting his 13th goal, one of the hot goal scorers for Boston, assisted by the former Duck, Hampus Lindholm, his 5th of the year. He always loves coming back to the building. He was great in his Ducks tenure at his time. But when we traded Lindholm to Boston, the return that we got, there was a tweet. I'd have to go back and look for it. I saw it today, but it led to like 4 or 5 pieces that are currently playing on the ice for the Ducks. So again, you sacrifice one to get a lot in the future. That's where that rebuild kind of came about 5 years ago for the Ducks. Then you had second period came around. Ryan Strome, our second star of the night, gets a power play goal, his first of the year from names McTavish and Gauthier.
Yeah.
Yes, and Mason McTavish has struggled. We've talked about it at length, missing training camp, getting the new contract, a lot of pressure. He was one of the handful of players at the optional morning skate yesterday on the off day. He's taking advantage of those opportunities, and I think they will pay off again. By January, when we flip the calendar to 2026, if we get what we know of who Mason McTavish is, that's going to be a great leading into the playoffs. So McTavish and Gauthier with the goal on Strome. Boston then gets 2, one near the end of the second and one about halfway through the third. Esimanov, his 5th, and then Geeky again gets his 14th. So we're all tied 3-3 with around 12 and a half minutes remaining in this game. And we're saying again, here we go again. And that Geeky goal was another power play goal. So 2 power play goals yielded by the Ducks tonight. We'll dive into that in the statistical breakdown. But creating something out of nothing, going coast to coast like butter toast. Ian Moore brings the puck up, gets it to Carlson, gets it to Terry, that top line with Kreider. He has assimilated himself very well. And again, Carlson, Terry, they are now tied for the team lead in assists with 16. Scary Terry, he's now coming to the right side of the page as well. And as, of course, number 1 star of the game, Ian Moore, his 2nd goal of the year, his first game-winning goal. It was clean. It was crisp. It was everything you wanted in an attack that late in a contest. And again, the goal came at 16:29, so just about three minutes and change left in this game. And you didn't want to have to get to the helter-skelter, like Monday against Utah.
Yeah.
Get it done and then let your defense work. And again, as an honorable mention, Lukasz Dostal holding down the fort those final few minutes of the game and not allowing Boston to fight back for that pity point.
And you know what? The Ducks didn't want to show off tonight. They're like, yeah, we could have scored with about 4 seconds or less left in the game.
We're in a back-to-back here. We got to temper
Yeah,
expectations.
let's score and give our defense a chance to stop these guys.
No, and looking at the statistical breakdown, Boston won a lot of the categories tonight. 39 shots to 33. They won face-off 60-40. Their power play was very good, 2 for 2. They took advantage, and the Ducks were 1 for 3. So just right there, if the Ducks played a cleaner game, you probably win 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1, maybe 3-2. Even though Boston had way more penalty minutes, 26 penalty minutes, they hit us more, 38-16. They were the more physical team in this game here tonight. They had more block shots. The Ducks were giving away the puck more, 22-16. They had a few more takeaways, 5-3, but statistically speaking, Boston should have won this game. And thankfully, the Ducks are able to squeak it out and win it at the end with a very good, productive and disciplined third period late when it mattered.
Yeah, that they really needed that, and they got it at the last minute tonight too. So I felt really, really good that the Ducks were able to win over this team because again, we got Ottawa coming in, and can they actually take 2 of 3 against or not 2 of 3, but the second back to back? I mean, could that be a possibility?
The Ducks have only had one back-to-back so far this year, and that was the Vegas Winnipeg road and home a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, nothing is off the table for these Anaheim Ducks. Like looking at Ottawa right now, moving forward, they are currently in the where am I at here? In the Metropolitan. Oh no, sorry, not the Metropolitan. In the Atlantic Division.
Yeah.
Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference. They are 19 games into their season. They are 9-6-4, 22 points, and in their last 10 games, they are 5-2-3 with a loss in their last game. So overall, and Ottawa did not play tonight, so they're not going to be on a back-to-back. So at least they have a day of prep in that sense. Overall, for me, there is absolutely no reason why the Anaheim Ducks cannot go back-to-back. You're going to get Peter Mrazek tomorrow. We already know that. You're going to have then Friday off to prep for a huge game. So we know right then and there, here's the big question. You know what Mrazek's overall numbers are in his playing career against the Golden Knights. Do we get a Mrazek sighting again on Saturday, or does Dostal face Vegas for the first time? So I know I'm evading your Ottawa question for a minute, but again, how does the coaching staff prep for what is about to happen over the next couple of games?
That's true.
That kind of opens the bigger and broader question as we get deeper into this homestand.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to see what they got. At some point, you're gonna have to test Mrazek and trust him against one of these first rated teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious to see what they pull out against Ottawa or the Golden Knights, either one, because either one's going to be a very good what is it? It's gonna be a competitive game because again, against a Kings team that's not been that great this season, Ottawa will shut out 1-0. The Kings put up a good defensive effort.
Yeah.
But and they barely lost to the Stars. They beat the Bruins. So they've been a little up and down, 3-3 in their last 6.
Yep.
But it's going to, and Ottawa is a much more physical hockey team than Boston. So the Ducks, it's going to be interesting to see their speed versus their pretty much physical power. So
and I think Ottawa, in a lot of senses, again, that the Eastern Conference is such a like I said about the NHL as a whole, but the Eastern Conference is stacked. There are some great squads with great players, and you look up and down as I look through some of the Ottawa numbers here so far this year. Ottawa is going to have, as an East Coast Canadian team coming into Honda Center their only time, like you said, they're going to be fast, they're going to be physical, they're going to have an off day, and the Ducks are going to be on that back end of a back-to-back. So who is going to wear down who first? That's how always. It doesn't matter if both teams are going into a back-to-back together. As long as one team's in a back-to-back, that's just how it rolls. So again, if the Ducks can get out early and have a good first period and kind of set the tone early and often against a very good Ottawa team, you do not want to sleep on this game. I know there's the 3 divisional games. Sure, there's going to be a 3-day break after the Vegas game on Saturday. I think you just, again, as Todd always says, one game at a time. Don't get ahead of yourselves. And I think the opportunity is going to be there for the Ducks tomorrow night to quickly get back out there. And again, when you're winning on that winning streak, you want to go back out there the next day. After that massive win against Vegas, I thought the Ducks, okay, maybe they might hit a downward, traveling back from Vegas. And they dominated that game against Winnipeg.
Oh, absolutely. So that's why tomorrow night's game is going to be very interesting. Now, one other thing I got on tomorrow night's game is I'm looking up the rankings right now for Ottawa.
Yep.
And check this out, Dominique. They are 31st in the league at penalty kill.
Ooh.
So if you're Coach Q, you might want to have some guys flop around there to try to
I know.
draw some penalties.
Does anybody have LeBron James on speed dial? Does anybody got LeBron on speed dial? Because that would be a great lesson for the Ducks tonight. No, again, if you play your game and you play hard and you make the opposing team vulnerable, they will naturally create their own issues. So force them into bad situations, force them to penalize you or put you in a power play opportunity and thrive off that power play. So if the Ducks can do that and basically do what Boston did to the Ducks tonight and go 2 for 2 on the power play, that's a great stat finder right there from you to figure out how what are the ways Ottawa is going to essentially bury themselves in this game and how you can have the upper hand on your opposition and go get your now third win in a row. And really, as I said before, 6 games at home, the Ducks for sure need to win 3. And I said Utah, Ottawa, and Vancouver were the definite 3 that I thought on paper the Ducks should win. Stealing this Boston game in a rematch from a couple weeks ago, again, it was just as contentious as it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The great thing from the Ducks tonight, they held the Boston number 1 scorer, Pasternak, to just 1 point tonight and an assist in over 20 minutes on the ice. So if you're able to keep him quiet and off the stat sheet in terms of goal scoring, that's a great night right there for the Ducks. So defensively, they held down the fort. They got the job done. Now you got to shift it over to the next night. So overall, I think, great game tonight and great things to lead into tomorrow. Because again, when you win, you immediately want to go back out there, and tomorrow's a great day to do it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I had it. That was a good way to sum it up, Dom. Now, I know you have one other announcement before we get out of here, as we'll be on here tomorrow for the Ducks post game. So stay tuned for that. Either me or Dominique or both of us again, depending on how things go tomorrow. But
Todd has returned and we've won 2 in a row. So
yeah, I gotta
so
be
it's
right
really
back on.
so it's really more up to you than anybody else at this point.
I know you magically recovered from that sickness, man. You were down and out.
Oh,
and
I felt so bad after promoting it Monday, missing the football podcast with a little bout of food poisoning. I've bounced back, thankfully. It was a rough 24 hours Monday night into most of the day yesterday. And it was about this time last night, maybe around midnight, that I was like, okay, I'm starting to get that energy. And today was a much better day. So, hopefully tomorrow onward and upward, and food poisoning's in the past. However, the big announcement, we talked about it on Monday. It was confirmed yesterday, today, whatever. We made the official announcement today. We have a watch party.
Hell yeah.
We have a watch party. So everybody listening right now, I'm going to leave it up on the screen. You can see me here just to the right as I kind of scooch into my camera. We are having a watch party. Todd, myself, as of right now, Zach from Ducks Game Day Breakdown looks to be attending as well. We're going to have our buddy from the Mighty Club is going to be there as well. Michael, a couple other people are going to be joining us as well. We want you there. If you're not able to attend the Vegas Ducks game on Saturday inside Honda Center, come over to Bruheim in Anaheim. The address is right there. 1931 East Right Circle, Anaheim, California. Todd and I are going to be getting there around 6 o'clock to set up and get everything ready to go. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock. So get there by 6, hang out with us, watch the game from Bruheim, who's a phenomenal sponsor here with the page and the program. And basically, we're going to be on doing like we did on opening night, kind of commenting on the game, bringing everybody in, and just having a really, really fun night at Bruheim. They're going to have, Todd knows, discount on beers, a lot of beer specials. I'm not sure what the food truck of the night is there at Bruheim, but
don't know yet.
Don't know yet, but I know you can bring food, do whatever, as long as you're there at Bruheim this Saturday. So just a couple days from now, Saturday, November the 22nd, Ducks versus Golden Knights. We will be at Bruheim, watch party for the game. Yes, I know the game is at home at Honda Center, so a lot of people are probably going to be at Honda Center watching. But if you're not there, come join us at Bruheim. Even come before the game and have a drink with us. Come after the game and have a drink with us. Hang out, enjoy, wear all your Duck stuff. This is going to be the first of hopefully many here so far this year. We're already looking into the future. There's a game, it's called like the Freeway Face-Off, and it's the Ducks and the Kings in January that we're thinking about doing another watch party for. So we're going to see how this one works out, but come on out, join us, and have a great time.
Yes, I couldn't say it any better. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you can make it down there for the game, please come and join us, and we may have some surprises for you. But with that being said, Dom, another great show, another good Ducks win.
Yes, indeed. This is exactly what we want. The Ducks 20 games, we have officially hit in one more game or whatever, basically the quarter portion of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And before we go, I'll pose the question back to you.
Okay.
20 games into the season. What is the letter grade we're giving to the Ducks?
I say you have to go with an A. You have to go with an A. There's no other way to go about it, because the way that they've played, the way that they've hung in there, shown so much growth from last year. And I mean, even if they're not showing growth and somehow doing it by luck, the fact they're in first place, that's an A for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I give it a solid A-. I think, of course, there's still some things to work on overall for the Ducks. And I think as more time passes, they will continue to get better. Trust me, I'm pretty sure Pat Verbeek will be willing to listen to other teams. And if he needs to make a trade to get some pieces back and really amp up this team moving forward deeper into the season, he will make those moves. So I'll be right there with you. A-. I think it's a solid start to the year, first 20 games in. And the Ducks get right back at it tomorrow. Again, recap if you're just joining us before we leave tonight. First things first, as we just said it a minute ago, the watch party this Saturday, November the 22nd. Todd, myself, our good buddy Zach from Ducks Game Day Breakdown, and some other special guests. And we want fans. We want the true Anaheim Ducks fans. Even if you're going to the game at Honda Center, stop by before, stop by after. If you're not going to the game, visit us. I know the tickets are a little expensive, unless you go to 714 Tickets, who are another sponsor. If you can't go to the game, join us at Bruheim. The address is right there at the bottom of your screen, 1931 East Right Circle in Anaheim, just down the street from Angel Stadium and Honda Center. We will be there starting at 6 o'clock. We will be there watching the game on the big screen. We will be doing this kind of coverage on our YouTube page all night long. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be a fun night. So please, please, please join us. Wear your Duck stuff and let's have a great time. Goal scoring tonight: Harkins, Gudas, Strome. The game winner from Moore are 3 stars of the game tonight. Dostal at 3, Strome at 2, and number 1, the game-winning goal in Ian Moore. Great night from the Ducks. Final, yes. Then, oh man, let's keep the winning ways going. What are we at? 2 in a row, and still, as Todd said, first in the Pacific.
Gotta love it, Dom. Till we meet again tomorrow against Ottawa, hopefully another W in the belt. 20 games in, you gotta feel good about the Ducks. Come out and see us again on the 22nd. Go Ducks.
Let's go, baby. Fly together.